This Brewers-Cubs series is brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. Rushing to get to Wrigley Field, Chicago. It's the Brewers and the Cubs. It is the final game of the regular season between these division rivals. Game 3 of the series, a series that is all split at one apiece. This is the rubber game tonight. Chase Anderson on the mound for the Brewers. Kyle Hendricks gets the ball for Chicago. And hi, everybody. We welcome you from Wrigley Field. Great to have you with us tonight. Hope you're having a great night. Brian Anderson along with Bill Schroeder. We'll hear from Sophia Minard in just a moment. Love this pitching matchup tonight. The Brewers desperate for a win. They're trying to get out of this series. One game back of the Cubs in the division race, and they're giving the ball to their opening day starter who's had a lot of success against the Cubs.
Yeah, couldn't have a better guy on the mound because Chase Anderson has been very good throughout his career as a Brewer against the Chicago Cubs, including a couple years a near no-hitter. This year in 3 starts, he's only allowed 3 runs in 20 innings, and you have to really give a lot of credit to that changeup. Changeup has been terrific. The fastball locating extremely well. You can see the opponent batting average for Chase, only 156. Overall, good numbers, an ERA under 3. An important game here at Wrigley Field, of course, for the Brewers. Not a better guy can grab the ball to start this one out tonight.
Well, 2 5-inning starts by the Brewers in this series. Miley and Chacin. Chase would love to go deep in this game. The Brewers have an off day tomorrow. They'll leave it all on the line tonight. Brewers-Cubs coming your way on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Milwaukee Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Hupy and Abraham. Voted best, rated best, Hupy and Abraham. Tell them you mean business. By Miller Lite, great taste and only 96 calories. And by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. It's a walk-off for RCL.
Down by Baez, and the Cubs sweep the series.
Anthony Rizzo sends one deep to right. Home run. He looks up. There it goes. He got it. Look at that one fly. Let the good times roll. The Brewers are hoping to make another memory here tonight at Wrigley Field. Their last game in the regular season in this old ballpark. 2 games back in the National League Central, 3 back in the loss column. The Cubs have 1 more win than the Milwaukee Brewers. Right now the Brewers sitting in the top spot in the wild card race. 72 degrees. It's a picture perfect night for baseball. Brian Anderson, Bill Schroer, and Sophia Minard. Tonight's game produced by Brent Reland, directed by Phil Malika. Well, been some action around the Central Division today already, and news to come later this week. For more on that, we check in with the 3rd member of our team, Sophia Minard.
Thanks, Ben. You're right. The Brewers have a big opportunity in front of them tonight, the 19th and final regular season meeting with the Cubs. And after tonight, the Cubs have a long night ahead of them. They're planning to go to Washington, D.C. to make up the game that they lost this weekend against the Nationals. So they're looking at a 3:05 first pitch in Washington, D.C. tomorrow, and then we'll come back to Chicago to play what is scheduled to be a 1:20 game on Friday. And looking at the St. Louis Cardinals, who lost earlier today to the Pittsburgh Pirates 4-3, they're now 5 games back in the loss column to the Cubs. And you look at their schedule, it doesn't get any easier for the Cardinals as well. 13 of their next 16 games are against first and second place teams, including another series with the Brewers. So the Brewers, they'll wrap up this with a regular season series here with the Cubs tonight. They'll enjoy an off day tomorrow. So this is a big opportunity for them to put a dent into those division standings.
All right, Sophia, thank you. And the St. Louis Cardinals will draw Clayton Kershaw tomorrow as the Cardinals open up a 4-gamer with the Dodgers. Meanwhile, the Cubs will face Joe Ross in D.C. tomorrow. Cubs have hit the field. We're almost ready to play ball tonight at Wrigley. 3 straight night games in this series. Let's take a look at Craig Counsell's starting 9, courtesy of Potawatomi. Curtis Granderson in the leadoff spot. Christian Yelich at second. Lorenzo Cain bats third. In the middle goes Travis Shaw, Mike Moustakas, Hernan Perez. And the bottom 3, Eric Thames, making his first start since September 2nd. Manny Pena will do the catching, and Chase Anderson rounding out the starting 9. There are a ton of left-handers in that starting lineup for the Brewers, 5 of them to face the right-hander Kyle Hendricks, partner.
Yeah, outstanding numbers for Hendricks, a .371 earned run average, 11-10. 30th start here tonight. A guy that doesn't walk too many, 40 walks, 141 strikeouts. Making career start number 19 against the Brewers. He's 8-4, earned run average under 3. He's 2-0 this year in 3 starts against Milwaukee. Well, let's check out the Cubs defense tonight. You got Brian Almora and Zobrist in the outfield. Baez at third base, Russell Murphy up the middle, Anthony Rizzo behind home plate, and Wilson Contreras getting the start behind home plate tonight.
Addison Russell made a couple of spectacular plays in the 9th inning last night, robbing Ryan Braun on one occasion of a base hit. Braun and Aguilar get the day off from the starting lineup, certainly available off the bench with a team off day tomorrow that Sophia mentioned. Brewers will try to utilize back-to-back off days for those 2 players, Ryan Braun and Jesus Aguilar. Ton of lefties in there, all the pieces in place. Corey Blazer is the home plate umpire. Stu Shearwater, Gary Cederstrom, and Eric Cooper on the bases. And Hendricks deals the first pitch in there for a strike, and away we go. Again, another live wire crowd at Wrigley Field, and they are still filing in. They're expecting a sellout tonight, or a near sellout. It's been that way all series long, and it feels like the postseason, where every pitch is drawing the roars and the oohs and the ahs. Every out matters, and we're getting into the final stretch now. The Brewers have 16 games remaining in the regular season, including tonight.
Yep, and the Brewers only 2 games behind the Cubs, and both of these teams would like to certainly win that division. The Brewers are playing some pretty good baseball right now.
Granderson, ever patient, takes a strike on the outside corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Curtis. .286 average with 1 homer and 2 RBIs. Those are his Milwaukee numbers. Granderson, a .245 hitter overall. And he hits that one hard into left center field. Got some carry to it. And back at the wall. It is up and out. It hit the top. Granderson Stops at third base. I'm with him. I thought it was a home run as well. I think the second base umpire, Gary Cederstrom, called that ball in play. It looked to me like it hit the top of the fence and then came back, but let's take another look here.
Yeah, pretty close. Right off the top of the rail on the basket right there, right above the 368.
Are you kidding?
Kind of dribbles right off that, the top there and comes right back in.
That's in play. No, it's a home run. So the umpires now come together. They call it a home run. I got to tell you, Rock, it looks to me like that should be in play.
Yeah.
This is certainly one that the umpires will look at on review, but they had to establish a call first. Crazy way to start this game tonight.
Yeah, no kidding. You wonder, they're going to go take a look at it. They're going to call it a home run. They're going to see if the ball actually did get over that basket. Never seen that before.
It is a thin rope that lines the top of that basket.
And how can it just bounce off of that and stay in play? You figure to hit that rope, kind of roll into the basket, but didn't do it.
Yeah, that's the beam that goes across there. And it did look like it spun and stayed on that edge. Now, remember, second base umpire Gary Cederstrom called that in play, put the safe sign down. Granderson had made it to third base.
Yeah.
So at the very least, the Brewers should have a triple out of it.
Right. I mean, you're not going to, no way you send him back to second base. And like crazy. I mean, how many years have we been coming here? We've never seen this before.
Right.
Not once, but twice.
Here's the call. He's bringing Granderson back, and he'll point him to third base. It's a triple. That is a horrible break for Curtis Granderson by an inch.
Man.
That deep fly ball stays in there.
Man, that is one for the books. It didn't hit that rope once, it hit it twice and then came into play.
Had so much spin on it after the first bounce. Stayed in. At any rate, it's a leadoff triple for Granderson. Not his 48th career leadoff home run. And here is Christian Yelich. Think about how many games have been played at Wrigley Field, and since they put the wall out there in the bleachers with the basket, I mean, that is one of the most rare things you could see.
Yeah, right. You figure it would happen to the Brewers.
Well, a good man at the plate to try to drive him in nonetheless. Christian Yelich checks in second in the league in batting average at .313. Sitting on 28 home runs for the year, 86 driven in. And there's a strike from Hendricks. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Yelich. Making a strong case for an MVP award this season.
That's that changeup. He's not afraid to throw that any count, any time. And both of these pitchers tonight, terrific changeups and not afraid to use them.
Both pitchers have had great success against the opponent in this series. And Yelich in the air, shallow left center. Russell's back. Granderson's going to tag and will not challenge the throw of Addison Russell. There is out number 1. Granderson still at third base.
Now, Hendricks not a guy that's going to throw very hard. You're talking 86, 87, maybe 88 every now and again, but he really keeps you honest with that changeup. He was able to get in on the hands of Christian Yelich right there. In the back of your mind, you're thinking changeup, and all of a sudden that upper 80s fastball gets on you.
Last time out against the Nationals on the road, Hendricks gave up 4 runs in 5 innings, but only 1 of those runs was earned. Lorenzo Cain swinging a foul into the net. Boy, it would be a shame if the Brewers couldn't play to run in this inning after that ball was inches from being a leadoff home run for Granderson.
And the Cubs have the infield in.
Expecting another tight game. 12 of the 18 games in the season series have been decided by 3 runs or less. We had another one last night. 3-0 Cubs win.
And mostly low scoring games. There's been a few games where both teams have piled on the runs, but not too often.
Cubs collected their 16th shutout of the year last night. That leads Major League Baseball. 6 of those coming against the Brewers this year. Two balls and a strike on Kane. Drops down into the 3-hole tonight. He's 4th in the league in hitting. Had a 4-hit game on Monday. He's batting .311. And Kane, a liner into center field, a base hit and an RBI, and it gets by Almora. Kane will turn on the Jets on his way to third base, and he'll make it there with 1 away. A costly error by Almora. The Brewers strike first. It's an RBI single for Lorenzo Cain. It ends up at third on the E8.
Yeah, bad mistake by Almora out there. Instead of a man at first, now a man at third with 1 out. Brewers made a couple of errors last night early. That cost him a couple of runs. 2-1 pitch, fastball right down the middle, and Lorenzo centers on it, drives it hard into center. And Almora able to track on it, but just flat missed it. Good hustle by Lorenzo to get into third base.
Well, no shutout tonight. Brewers strike first. They score in the first, just as they did on Monday. And here is Travis Shaw, who takes a first pitch strike. Scored as a single and an RBI for Kane. His 36th RBI of the year. 2-base error from Almora. And now Shaw trying to get one in the air to the outfield at the very least.
Just tantalizing with the off-speed stuff. He'll throw a curveball every now and again. He'll cut the fastball. He's got that changeup. And when you're sitting back getting a lot of that, then 87, 88 miles an hour, it gets on you quick. Like that.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Shaw with 28 home runs on the year. Tied with Yelich, second on the club. Aguilar is the home run leader for the Brewers with 31. He's still in the top 10. 5 of the 8 position players are left-handed hitters tonight for the Brewers. And they have all been very patient, waiting their turn. It's been a bit of a rotation with Shaw and Moustakas with all of these left-handers. The Brewers have had 7 out of 8 games against left-handed starting pitching. So these left-handed batters have had very little activity, unlike what they are accustomed to over the last week and a half.
And now it's going to be a long run of right-handed pitchers are going to be facing.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Shaw. Kane, a runner at third, and a swing and a miss. Shaw strikes out. A spot where you have to put it in play, but it's the second out, and Kane still at third base.
And what do you think he's throwing, right? Change up. Look at the movement on it, going down right over the heart of the plate, but out of the zone.
A big out early for Kyle Hendricks. Here is Mike Moustakas now. Thought I heard a few moose calls coming out of the Wrigley Field stands. There are a number of Brewers fans here tonight, as we saw last night, making the trip down from Milwaukee perhaps. Moustakas, a shot, but the shift is on. Hits it right at Russell, and the Brewers get only 1. Cannot take advantage of the error. Lorenzo Cain with an RBI single. Granderson almost knocked it out of here. By inches it stays in. It's a leadoff triple, and Cain brings him home, and it's 1-0 Crew tonight. Lorenzo Cain RBI single. Now Chase Anderson on the mound for the Brewers. Here's the batting order he'll face, courtesy of Potawatomi, with Murphy, Bryant, and Rizzo at the top. Zobrist, Baez, and Almora in the middle. Contreras, Hendricks, and Russell round out the starting nine. Madden's got his pitcher batting 8th once again. And Chase Anderson with great numbers against the Cubs throughout his career, hoping to keep that going as Murphy skies one left center. Cain is over. 1 pitch and 1 out for Chase Anderson.
Yeah, 29th start of the year for Chase. 9-7 record. He's won his last 3 decisions, but he's had 5 no decisions in there. He's 4-4 career against the Cubs. This is start number 11 for him. We talked about it when we came on the air. He's 1-2 this year, 135 earned run average in 3 starts against the Cubs.
Chris Bryant now with 1 away. Cubs are 11-7 against the Brewers this year in the season series. Final game of that season series tonight, and a win tonight for the Brewers. They would hit the off day 1 back. A loss tonight for Milwaukee would put them 3 back. And with just 15 games to play after this one, not insurmountable, but you'd have to have some help. As Sophia chronicled, the Cubs do not have an off day the rest of the year. They're going to be playing it through, and they've got some travel involved. Their schedule is not easy.
Well, you take care of business right here. I mean, make it a little bit easier on yourself by picking up a win tonight. Cardinals losing.
Cardinals put up a fight against the Pirates, had a late rally in the 8th and the 9th. Came up a run short, though. Pirates beat St. Louis earlier today. Brewers would love to add a game onto that. Right now, Brewers Cardinals make up the wild card. Those two would play a wild card game, and then the winner of that game would play the Cubs in a similar scenario if it ended the way it stands right now. 2-2 the count. Bryant fouls one away. You got to do your best to avoid that wild card game. It's great to be in the postseason. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
That's a place you want to be, but playing that 1 game play-in is both thrilling, nerve-wracking, full of anxiety. It's probably one of the most entertaining games of the year, but it's not necessarily one you want to be in if you can help it.
Yeah, 1 and out makes it tough.
This is not a game where 1 game normally determines much. These 1 game play-ins, right? It's a game built for series and over the long haul and who's the better team. But you get into a division series, you know you're going to have at least 3 games to play. And then if you make it to the championship series, it's best of 7, as it is in the World Series. 2-2 pitch. Bryant doesn't bite. 3-2 now.
Well, right now the Brewers are playing as good a baseball as they have all season. They won 6 straight series. They win tonight, make it 7, and that's pretty much all you have to do. It's not to minimize how difficult that is, but you know, just keep winning series and you're in. You probably win a division.
Full count to Bryant. 1 away in the inning. And Anderson misses. This Cubs lineup is as good as it gets in the National League, especially their top 5 hitters. And in order to keep this lineup down, you have to control that top part of the lineup.
Yeah, well, let's check out our Pizza Ranch for the win. We've been talking about it all night. Pre-game show open. Changeup's going to be a big part of tonight for these 2 starters. Both of them very good. Chase Anderson has been good on the road this year. 4-4. Now record okay, but a 289 earned run average away from Miller Park in 13 starts. So keep it going.
One of his best starts of his career as a Brewer came against the Cubs. That was 2 years ago. That was the World Series year for the Cubs. Rizzo, a shot in the right field, but Granderson is right there. And on the first pitch, Anthony Rizzo lines out. 2 away. Now that was one of the more memorable Chase Anderson moments. Late May 2016, took a no-hitter into the 9th inning. Surrendered a couple of runs in that game, but he went 8 2/3 innings. And then Chase really put it together last season. Proved himself worthy of the top of the rotation starter, and he earned that opening day start this season.
He's had 2 really good starts this year against the Cubs. 7 scoreless early in the year, and later on 1 run in 7 innings.
Here is Ben Zobrist to take strike 1. Anderson's had 3 consecutive starts of 5 innings, exactly 5 innings. Does have a couple of starts this year against the Cubs where he's gone 7. Zobrist, deep center field. Kane all the way back, and he's got it just in front of the wall. Zobrist hit it hard, but Kane runs it down. Inning is over. Brewers lead 1-0.
Sweatshirt given to the first 20,000 fans at the Brewers series finale to the Pirates this coming Sunday. That's courtesy of Hupy and Abraham. For tickets, visit brewers.com.
What a night for baseball at Wrigley Field tonight. Beautiful evening. We've had great weather all week. That is not the case on the East Coast, especially with the hurricane coming in. Very scary situation that is expected to be in front of us this weekend. So we're thinking about all of you if you're watching us on the East Coast, and there's going to be a very tricky storm. That's a foul ball. Nice pickup over there by Baez, but a foul ball.
He throws it over to Rizzo. Rizzo threw it right back to him. They're having a good time over there.
Well, the Cubs and the Brewers separated by 1 win at this point. Brewers have played 2 more games than the Cubs. 16 left for Milwaukee, including tonight. Cubs have 18 left. Hernan Perez in an 0-2 count. Ground ball to Murphy. And there is out number 1. Eric Dames back in the starting lineup tonight. He raised his hands to the heavens when he got to first base. He finally got to start again, and Eric Dames does have a home run against Kyle Hendricks. That was back in April. Powerball home run. Eric Dames with 6 hits and 18 at-bats career against Kyle Hendricks, and he is very happy to be back in the mix.
Yes, he is. Been a while for him.
First start since September 2nd. Started at first base against the Nationals.
It seems like Jesus Aguilar needed his day off. He was grinding up there at the plate. Getting a little frustrated at some of the at-bats. That's the first sign for a manager to give him a day off.
Yeah, he even admitted as much. Aguilar saying maybe just playing in more games, more stressful games, especially as he's a key component to this pennant race. And he'll be able to buy a couple of days off, a mental breather. I'm sure he'll be available to pinch hit later in the game. That's no problem for guys like this. They don't mind cranking it up for one at bat, but 2 days off with the scheduled off day tomorrow, and he'll be right back at it on Friday.
And just a mental breather, if you will.
3 balls and a strike on Thames. And he draws the walk.
That's the thing about Eric Thames that impresses you. I mean, he might not be, giving you 300 batting average, but even after not getting a whole lot of at bats for a while, he's still able to be patient enough to draw walks. Good job drawing a walk to 1 out in the 2nd inning here.
That'll bring up Manny Pena. Brewers catcher hitting .254 with 8 home runs. Has 23 driven in on the year. Free swinger at the plate. And a .314 on base percentage to start play today. And he takes a strike. So Hendricks now 7 out of 8 first pitch strikes. He had 6 in a row until he missed with the first pitch to Thames. He is a strike thrower, and he puts the hitter on the defensive quickly.
And a lot of his first pitch strikes are pretty well located. If you're a hitter up there, you're looking, all right, he's going to give me a fastball to get ahead, and you're thinking maybe get one down the middle and he'd jump all over it, but he does a real good job of putting it on the edges.
One ball, 2 strikes on Pena. With Thames at first after the walk. Pena takes a ball. It was just 2 years ago that Kyle Hendricks posted the lowest ERA in the majors. Won the National League ERA title, 2.13 earned run average as part of a 16-win season. He finished 3rd in the Cy Young voting that season. That was the year Max Scherzer won the Cy Young award. Pena on the ground. Baez bobbles, gets it to Murphy, and the turn is scooped out by Rizzo. Had disaster written all over it, but 2 good plays, and it's a double play to end the inning. 5-4-3 double play. Hendricks works around a 1-out walk.
The Brewers have taken an early 1-0 lead here in the second inning, and Chase Anderson back to work on the mound, his fourth start of the season against the Cubs, and he's fared very well against them in his 3 previous starts. In 20 innings pitched, he's given up just 3 earned runs for an earned run average of 1.35. Most recently coming on June 12th at home, it was 7 shutout innings for him with 6 strikeouts, and he feels like his recipe for success against the Cubs, he said, really just focusing on keeping the ball off of the middle of the plate. He says he's done a good job executing on the edges. That's something he wants to continue to do tonight. And he mentioned, pitching in these big games, this series, obviously this being the final regular season matchup. He knows what this game means in terms of the division standings. He says you have to learn how to manage your emotions. He said even just not getting too high or low throughout the innings. So that he said there's no secrets between these two teams after playing each other 19 times. It will come down to execution here tonight. Both he and Hendricks showing that early this game.
Well, so far so good. I mean, Hendricks has been very good getting the first pitch strikes. Chase, pretty good first inning, although he did walk Chris Bryant. But the off speed, the secondary pitches for Chase against the Cubs this year have been terrific. There's a good curveball as we speak.
Javi Baez starting the inning for Chicago.
You just never know. I mean, what it is. I mean, certain guys just seem to have good success against certain teams. Like pitch against certain ballparks. And sometimes you really can't put your finger on it. It's just a comfort level that you have.
Made his first start at Wrigley back on April 26th. Went 7 innings in that game, just 1 earned run. Took a loss in that game. That was a very unfortunate loss for Chase Anderson. The Brewers lost that game 1-0. Chase pitched well though across 7 innings, just 5 hits. Shift is on for Baez. 3 balls and a strike.
And that loss came to the hands of Kyle Hendricks, of all people, right? So a matchup of that here tonight.
Almora due next for the Cubs. And Baez a little late, fouls another one away. Good fastball tonight for Anderson. It's up there at 94 miles an hour. That's a good sign. Chase said he feels rested. He feels healthy. Remember last time around they pushed Anderson back a day, so he buys that extra day. He's going to be on a regular rotation. But he walks Javi Baez. That's 2 walks now for Anderson.
Yeah, you don't want to walk that guy, particularly with nobody out, nobody in front of him. He is a terror on the bases.
And that'll bring up Almora. Anderson, I asked him last night, do you feel like the extra day's rest, when the Brewers utilize the off days and stay in a 5-man rotation, it gives you the 5th day of rest as opposed to pitching on the 5th day? And he goes, actually, I would prefer the routine of every 5 days. I know the numbers show. There goes Baez right away. Swing and a miss. Throw to second on the bag. And the tag is in time. Shaw kept it right on him.
Did you see that throw from Manny Pena? I mean, we've been watching that guy throw the baseball all summer long, and that might have been his best throw. You just can't get rid of it any quicker than that. Look at this throw. Right on the money. I mean, Travis Shaw barely has to move the glove. They're able to get him. That's a great guy to get off the bases right there. What a terrific throw by Manny Pena.
And good for Shaw to stick that tag right in the ribs of Baez, who is successful often on that little swim move he has. And so the walk is erased. Manny Pena continues to impress.
The quick feet. I mean, getting in position so quickly. It is impressive to watch him throw the baseball.
There's a swinging strike by Almora. There's another one. So it's 0-2 on the Cubs center field.
The thing about Manny is when he does that, he stays low. A lot of guys are going to be quick with their feet but go up and then have to come down to throw the baseball. That takes up time. Manny's able to stay low. He keeps those legs down quickly, keeps them down, and just does a terrific job of delivering the baseball to second base.
2 gone now as Almora flies to right. Well, Pena is throwing out 39% of the base runners, so he's caught 18 base runners this season. He's given up 27 stolen bases. That is a very high percentage.
Yeah.
You throw out 25%. That's a good number for a catcher. You feel good about that. You start getting over the 30% range, because throwing out base runners is a lot more than just a catcher's arm strength. It has a lot to do with the pitcher on the mound, the kind of base runner, the situation.
And again, this day and age of the home run ball, only the really good base stealers are going to be running these days. I mean, the average base runner very rarely tries to steal a base. And if he does, he steals it on the pitcher.
Wilson Contreras with 2 away. Anderson a fly ball pitcher, and the Cubs have 4 fly ball outs in the first 6 batters. 2 walks. As a matter of fact, all of the outs on batted balls are fly ball outs. 2 balls, no strikes on the Cubs catcher. There's a strike.
Chase trying to work in that cut fastball. That's that 89-mile-an-hour pitch that he's been throwing.
He has the full arsenal of pitches. But his primary pairing of pitches, right, is the fastball, the high fastball, and the curveball. But then he has all the supplementary pitches, the cutter, the changeup, which has always been a great pitch for him. And when he's got them all going,
yeah,
the hitter is in a defensive posture at the plate, because you were talking about 15-18 miles up and down the mile-an-hour range from his slowest pitch, which would be the curveball, to his fastest fastball, which is about 94 miles an hour.
And that's when he puts together those really good starts, when the changeup and curveball are consistent in the strike zone, keeping that pitch down.
2-2 to Contreras. They'll ask if he went, able to check his swing. Those are the splits on the arsenal this year. The fastball uses more than half the time, but then the combo of the changeup and the curveball. And then that cutter, his 4th pitch, but one he uses effectively well.
Yeah, those are the pitches, but that doesn't necessarily tell you the effectiveness of them. You know, a lot of those curveballs that you saw there, the 18 or so percent, you know, a lot of them have been out of the strike zone. He struggles with that pitch from time to time, and doesn't use too many when it's not working.
He's in his 3rd full count, and Contreras takes the ball low. So that's the 2nd walk issued in this inning. It's the 3rd already for Anderson to the first 7 batters.
And that was a changeup right there. Yeah. Contreras took that one as though he knew it was coming. He never even flinched on that changeup. It was just down below the knees.
Yeah, I like that stat you had in Brewers Live today. The well hit average against Chase Anderson's changeup. So the well hit number is a batted ball 95 miles an hour or faster exit velocity. So you're talking about a well hit average of 0.61 on the changeup, basically meaning 94% of the changeups he throws are hit below that 95-mile-an-hour range. A lot of soft contact. There's a base hit by Hendricks. The Cubs pitcher with a single. And the inning continues now. 2 walks and a hit.
Yeah, that was a fastball right there. I mean, literally right down the middle of the plate, and Hendricks able to square it up, knock it into left field. Hendricks hitting under, I should say Hendricks hitting, yeah, under 100 for the season. Able to find the hole in the left field.
Well, now you got to press a little bit with the 9th place hitter, Addison Russell, the shortstop. 2 on, 2 away. Russell's been back nearly 2 weeks now, coming back from the injury. The shoulder problem. Also had a finger injury. Nothing wrong with his glove. He's made some sparkling plays already in this series. Brewers are hoping the timing in his hitting does not catch up here while they're in town. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with the Cubs when Jason Hayward comes back. He is out with a hamstring injury, but he took batting practice today on the field. And so you figure his return from that hammy is imminent.
And he's swinging the bat pretty well, too.
A ball and no strikes, and Russell takes a ball low. It's 2-0.
Yeah, command has been a little shaky so far. Only 4 of 9 first pitch strikes for Chase Anderson. We were talking about how good Hendricks has been in that statistic. A lot of first pitch strikes for Hendricks.
All but one. He's 7 of 8 in that category.
Chase says it feels a little, it seems like he's a little bit unsettled out there on the mound. He has stepped off quite a bit first couple of innings. It looks like he's looking in, getting a sign, stepping off. Looks a little bit uncomfortable on the mound right now. 15 balls, 18 strikes for Chase Anderson, and that's a lot of pitches out of the strike zone early in the game.
So Derek Johnson, the Brewers pitching coach, former Cubs minor league pitching coordinator. That's how he got to Milwaukee from the Chicago Cubs. Maybe he spotted something mechanically. Johnson with an early visit to the mound. 2 on, 2 outs, 2-0 the count on Addison Russell. And a wave and a miss. He threw him something off speed right there, the changeup.
Perfect time to throw that pitch. 2-0, hitter looking fastball, pulls a string on him. Way out in front.
Popped him up, foul grounds. That's headed toward the dugout, and Baines reaches in, can't pull it in. Just got to the rail, glanced off his glove, but could not make the catch.
He got to the fence. I think he had another foot or two, or maybe another foot. He could have moved closer to that guardrail there. You can see he had a little bit more room than he thought, right off the end of the glove.
These are repositioned dugouts this year at Wrigley Field. They've been moved down about 15 feet, opened up bigger space down there. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And a drive right field on the run. Granderson, he's got it for the out. Russell hit it like a bullet, but Granderson able to fetch it in the gap in right center. No damage. 1-0 Brewers. Baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. By Ascension, coming together to give healthcare a better name. We are Ascension. And by Wisconsin Dells, the water park capital of the world.
Hey, the Pirates come to town for a 3-game series this Friday through Sunday. Check out the complete schedule. That includes 2 big gate giveaways at Brewers.com.
Robin Yount throwback in the powder blues. I like that one. Pirates beat the Cardinals earlier today, had to hang on to win that game. It was tight late. Cardinals were threatening in the bottom of the 9th inning. Dodgers finally beat the Reds. First time all year they've beaten Cincinnati. Finished the season series 1-6 against the Reds. So Cardinals and Dodgers are complete. Arizona and Colorado are just underway. That's one to follow today as well. Right now the Brewers in that top wild card spot. They've got their sights set on the Cubs though in the division. Brewers are 1 back, 2 in the loss column to the Cubs to start play today. Chase Anderson against Kyle Hendricks to start the 3rd. Hendricks walked a batter in the 2nd inning. He walked Thames, but quickly got a 5-4-3 double play to end the inning. So he faces the pitcher to lead off. Chase would love to return the favor. Hendricks had a base hit off Anderson last inning. Chase is 4 for 43 at the plate with 2 RBIs this season. And the 0-2 is swung on and missed. Out number 1, second strikeout for Hendricks. Curtis Granderson now back to the top of the Brewers order. First inning, thought he had a home run into the basket. Check this out. I've never seen this at Wrigley Field. It hits the top rope there, that pole that runs across, and stays in.
Twice it hit it.
Can't believe it.
Talking to people around this ballpark that have been here for a long time, never saw that. It's hit once before, but never twice, according to the folks that have been here.
That's a bad break.
I mean, what's the chance of that?
Well, Granderson did score. He was driven in on a Kane single, and Granderson is 2 for 2. It's his 2nd game of the season for the Brewers, hitting leadoff. As a familiar spot for him throughout his career.
Such a great guy to have on your team. I mean, clubhouse guy, veteran. He's done just about everything in baseball, and you input him in that starting lineup and he comes through. Triple single. Breaking pitch to Granderson, one of the few curveballs that he's thrown so far tonight. Centers on it and hits it hard into right field.
Granderson had just 1 hit and 9 career at bats against Hendricks coming into this one. 2 for 2 tonight. Skipper Counsell playing the hunch that Granderson would have a good night leading off, and he has already. Now it's Yelich. And Yelich lines one to right field, a base hit. Granderson will go station to station. Back-to-back singles. Hard hit balls for Granderson and Yelich, and the Brewers got it cooking again here in the 3rd.
Yep, jumping on that fastball, 87 miles an hour, pretty much down the middle. Check it out. Right here, looks like it has a little bit of movement on it, not much, and Yelich able to put it on the barrel. Yeah, good start to the 3rd inning for Milwaukee. They're 1 man out, a couple of singles.
That left the bat nearly 114 miles an hour. Tagged it. Kane did the same back in the 1st. He drove in a run. That's a foul ball on a half swing. Trying to check his swing.
You can't have enough veteran guys in your lineup this time of year. They've been through it before. Understand it. Know how to deal with it. Know how to slow the game down in tough spots.
Granderson played in a World Series last year with the Dodgers. Kane's been in 2 World Series with the Kansas City Royals.
And they know what it takes to get there.
No balls, 2 strikes. Kane an RBI single in the 1st. Normally the leadoff hitter, hits third tonight. And a pop fly foul that's going to slice in the seats. Kane's been in that 3 spot a few occasions this year. So this is his 15th game hitting third. It's usually Kane hitting third when Aguilar and Braun are out of the lineup. Aguilar's been the most oft-used player in the 3 spot in the batting order. That spot belonged to Braun for 11 years until this season. Brewers have a lot of weapons offensively this time around. Kane into left field, a base hit. Granderson's going to stop at third. And 3 straight hits for the Brewers. They are loaded up with 1 away in the 3rd inning.
Lorenzo going down and getting that one.
2-strike single for Lorenzo Kane. He's 2 for 2.
Yep, change up. Watch, it's trying to sink down out of the strike zone. Kane able to go down and get it. You know, the way he bends those knees to level out that bat, and he hits it hard into left field. Good piece of hitting on a changeup.
It's about as unorthodox as you could be, but such an excellent hitter, Lorenzo Kane.
Hand-eye coordination, bat to baseball, and yeah, that's what it takes.
Well, the Brewers are in a position to do some damage now. Bases loaded, 1 away. Travis Shaw, the cleanup hitter at the plate. Kyle Hendricks has thrown 12 consecutive strikes. Struck out Anderson, and then Granderson, Yelich, and Kane with singles. There's the first ball. Can you throw too many strikes if you're a pitcher?
Absolutely. Especially when you have 2 strikes, maybe bounce one, throw one out of the zone, see if they'll chase. Could have done that to Kane, didn't do it.
Brewers have speed on the bases. Shaw lays off, and it's 2-0 now. Travis, a frustrating at bat in the 1st inning. Struck out with a runner at third and 1 out. He's got a chance for redemption quickly. The 2-0. And Shaw fouls it away.
Off-speed pitch. Tries to be as unpredictable as he can be. Talking about Hendricks. There's something they're not looking for.
Shaw looking for a mistake. Sitting on 28 home runs this year. Let's see what Hendricks gives him. 2 balls and a strike. Shaw's out in front. 2-2.
Another changeup. His bread and butter off the plate.
That's the pitch that struck him out in the 1st inning. Cubs set up to turn a double play. Shaw into center field, hits sharply. Almora's got it. Granderson will tag. The other runners hold their ground, and Travis Shaw adds to the Brewers' lead. A sac fly on a 2-strike pitch.
Yeah, that's a good at bat right there for Shaw. I mean, he was grinding. He was behind the fastball, out in front of that changeup, finally able to wait back and hit one hard into center. All about making contact. Wasn't able to do it his first time up. Left the man at third base. This time able to drive in the run.
Big RBI for Shaw, number 78 on the year. 2-0 Brewers. 1st and 2nd with 2 away. And here is Moustakas. Moustakas playing in his 38th game as a Brewer. 5 home runs, 23 RBIs in a Brewer uniform. And right off the end of the bat to Baez. He'll go to second to end the inning. Brewers had them loaded with one away. They get one. Travis Shaw with a sac fly. 2-0 Brew Crew. We go to the bottom of the third.
Brought to you by T-Mobile. What a day at the plate for third baseman Alex Bregman. Went 2 for 5, had 3 RBIs on the day, and also recorded a double, his 50th of the season, and a historic day for him. He now becomes the first third baseman in Major League Baseball history to have 50 doubles and 30 homers in one single season.
It's a huge year for Bregman. He is picking up where Altuve left off last year, the reigning MVP in the AL, Altuve. Bregman with 50 doubles, 30 homers, 100 RBIs, 100 runs.
It's like a Lance Berkman year.
Lance Berkman's the only other Astro to put those kind of numbers together in a season back in '01. MVP candidate Alex Bregman. Daniel Murphy starts it for the Cubs. Well, Bregman getting on for 39 consecutive games now. Christian Yelich has the longest streak on base in the National League. And Yelich, with that single in the third inning, has reached base in 28 consecutive games.
Yeah, reached base safely, walk, hit batter, base hit.
2 MVP candidates that are late entries into the MVP race, I'd say. Murphy pulls that one foul, trying to turn on it. Good fastball from Anderson.
Up and in. He tried to tomahawk it out of here.
He is a free swinger early in counts, but is very patient at the plate. At least sees a lot of pitches per plate appearance. That's probably better stated. And down he goes. Strikeout up the ladder with a fastball. Chase Anderson with a strikeout to start the third as Murphy goes down.
Yep, elevates the fastball at only 93 miles an hour and gets Murphy to chase. Back-to-back pitches out of the strike zone. Now to get him. A foul tip.
One away for Anderson. That's his first strikeout. He's walked 3. Been able to pitch around some activity on the bases. There's a wave and a miss by Bryant. Big curveball from Anderson. And a shot into left field, a base hit for Bryant. He's been on twice, a walk and a single.
Yeah, just covers home plate very well. Inside, outside, up and down. I mean, that's why he's an MVP. Starting to get that timing back a little bit more. After being on the disabled list, extended period of time, just got a cutter, knocked it into left field.
Which will bring Anthony Rizzo to the plate. Swung at the first pitch his last time up. Rizzo hit a line drive out to Granderson and right. Brewers have a shift on. Makes for an awkward double play opportunity, especially if it's pulled on the ground to the right side. Perez closest to the bag, the shortstop. Shaw is covering the hole. And it's 2-0 on Rizzo. Cubs the highest on-base percentage in the National League as an offense. Highest batting average as well. A tough lineup. They work counts. They get into favorable counts.
And it got popped.
It's a pretty good combination of free swingers and high pitch count guys at the plate. And you got your Javi Baez's of the world, but then you have your Anthony Rizzo, which is a counter. Zobrist always a tough out. 2 balls and a strike. And Rizzo was late. He fouls it away.
Fastball down. Now the Cubs coming into play today, and this is kind of a surprise with the lineup that they have. Of course, Chris Bryant's missed a lot of time, but only 9th in the National League in home runs. And near the bottom of the pack.
Bryant with 2 trips to the disabled list. He's missed over 50 games this year. That's a big part of the production loss for Chicago. Bryant's playing in his 87th game today of the season. 2-2 to Rizzo with 1 away. And he got him. Struck him out on a changeup. A dandy by Anderson.
Changeup off the plate. Had some good movement going away from Rizzo. Wow.
First 2 strikeouts of the night have come in this inning for Chase.
A lot of his changeups have not been in the strike zone, including this one. Look at the way this one moves away from Rizzo. Not only does he's out in front of it, but he misses it off the plate.
Two gone. Here comes Zobrist. Bryant the runner at first. Brewers change up their defensive alignment a little bit now that there are 2 outs and Zobrist at the plate. Perez is back on the left side, and Travis Shaw, the second baseman, is way out in the grass. Shaw has a very strong throwing arm. Brewers defensive shifting has been a big story in this series. They've taken a lot of hits away from the Cubs, especially Monday night. Jonathan Scope put a clinic on out in the grass in the rover position in shallow right.
And took a couple of hits away from Rizzo.
I think the Scope shortstop experiment is over, with Perez getting the start at shortstop tonight. 1 ball, 1 strike in the dirt. 2-1. It helps that Perez has been hitting as well, so that makes that decision a little easier for Craig Counsell. He's been a hot bat, Hernan Perez, and he can certainly play shortstop.
Yeah.
Excellent player.
And late in games, if the Brewers have a lead, he puts Arcia in there. He throws Perez over at second. Play him anywhere and he'll give you a good at bat.
Shaw never played a day of second base in his life until this season. 3 balls and a strike, and Zobrist looks at a changeup go by. 3-2. Bryant goes. Zobrist rips one right center. Granderson makes the catch. Curtis Granderson has taken a couple of hits away here tonight. Heck of a play by Granderson. Inning is over. He robbed Addison Russell. Now he gets Zobrist. 2-0 Brewers. Stream them live on your mobile device with Fox Sports Go. Download the app. Take Fox Sports Wisconsin and Brewers baseball with you wherever you go. Cubs are a game ahead of the Brewers in the National League Central. 2 in the loss column. Hernan Perez leads off for Milwaukee. Hendricks back on the mound. He surrendered 2 runs. Brewers have RBIs tonight from Kane and Shaw. Granderson has scored both runs.
Chase Anderson got away with a fastball right down the middle to Zobrist, and he hit it hard, but Granderson able to run it down. Actually almost overran it. Able to haul it in. A lot of hard hit balls by the Cubs tonight.
Now 4 line drive outs already against Chase Anderson, but he's got a 0 on the board. Perez pulls it foul. Cubs are headed to DC after the game tonight. They've got a makeup game tomorrow against the Nationals. They have just announced that their game on Friday will be a night game here at Wrigley Field. So that was scheduled as a 1:20 start against the Reds. They have changed that to a 7:05 p.m. start. That'll buy them a little extra time to rest up. So their traditional Friday afternoon game is going to be under the lights now. As a call, strike 3. Hendricks with a strikeout of Perez. That's number 3 for Kyle Hendricks. Check out tonight's Menards game reset. Brewers got on the board first. Lorenzo Cain in the first inning with an RBI single with 1 away after a Granderson triple. And then Travis Shaw, a sacrifice fly in the 3rd. That came with 2 strikes. Granderson scoring the run again. And it's 2-0 Brewers. Here's Eric Thames.
Didn't even include the craziest highlight of the night. That ball that hit the guide wire in the basket.
Leaving you to wonder how Granderson got to 3rd base, right?
Didn't hit it once, but hit it twice. Came right back into play. What are the odds of that?
It's like a 9-iron checking up on the green.
Yeah, do we have anybody who can figure that out? Odds of that happening?
Right off the end of the bat. Thames hustling down the line, but Russell takes care of him for the second out.
1 in a million, maybe?
Gotta be. Just throw it out there.
I mean, not once, but twice.
Who's going to check?
Not once, but twice.
How many games have been played here at Wrigley Field? 1 million? It's the first time it's ever happened.
The basket hadn't been there that long, but hey, I mean, not once, but twice. Hit it and then came back.
That's a bad break.
Yeah.
But the Brewers did score the run. No home run for Granderson. Here's Manny Pena now. 2 away in the inning. What was the worst break you ever had as a player?
Wow.
I mean, when you really felt like the baseball gods are against you right now.
I don't remember. I don't remember really a bad break. My bad breaks were self-inflicted.
You were just happy to be there.
Yeah. I mean, nothing like that. I mean, that's crazy.
No. Well, that just goes to show you, you know, you didn't hang on to that bad break all these years.
No, just let it go.
You didn't get bitter over it.
Let it go.
You just took it as it came.
Let it go.
The universe laid it out for you as it was, and you moved on. Good job, partner.
Try not to remember too much about the bad stuff that happened, right?
Nothing but good memories.
Dropped a couple of pop-ups in my day, but hey, it's not a bad break. It's just bad play.
It's not your fault. 2-2 pitch, and Pena strikes out, fires the bat into the net, and that will retire the side. 2 Ks in the inning for Hendricks. He has 4. 3 up, 3 down, 4th. Cubs are coming up. Brewers lead 2-0. Milwaukee Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Miller Lite. Great taste and only 96 calories. And by Toyota. Let's go places. A favorite tourist destination, downtown Chicago, Navy Pier. And just a few miles from there on the north side of Chicago, we are at Wrigley Field. 2-0 Brewers. Rubber game of this 3-game series, and a key game for the Brewers, trying to win this one, head back home for a homestand, up or down just a game to the Cubs, making up ground. Brewers have been able to pick up 4 games in the standings in the last 10 days. Javi Baez leads off for Chicago. He walked his first time up. was immediately thrown out trying to steal. Brewers have had some good plays defensively in this game already in the outfield. Hard hit balls around. Rizzo, Zobrist twice. Addison Russell was robbed of a hit. Now that one is belted into center field, and Kane almost in his tracks.
Yeah, a little topspin liner out there and right at Kane. Sometimes those can be tricky. Yeah, the spin on him, they're going to be moving around a little bit. Lorenzo, no problem for him.
Some high exit velocity readings tonight, but so far Chase Anderson has been fortunate. Still has a 0 on the board despite allowing 2 hits and 3 walks. Albert Almora now with 1 away. Brewers probably feel like they should have more runs on the board. Cubs feel like they should have some runs on the board the way they've swung the bats tonight. And now Pena is going to head back to the mound. Second trip to the mound for the Brewer catcher as we play here in the 4th inning.
And Chase Anderson so far through 3 1/3, only 6 first pitch strikes. He has not really been able to get ahead in the count too often, which is one of the reasons why the Cubs have been hitting the ball so hard. But fortunately for the Brewers, they're right at fielders. Just can't continue to work behind the count. Catches up to you.
Two 2-0 to the Cubs center fielder Almora. Flew out to right his first time up. You can tell Chase Anderson's pushing the tempo a little bit. He's not comfortable. He's not his normal self on the mound. I guess maybe that's the best way to say it. All these Brewers pitchers, it's important to them to pitch with pace. That is something that Derek Johnson preaches, the Brewer pitching coach, and Anderson is trying to get locked into a better tempo, but he's fighting himself a little bit right now.
I'm not sure. I'm not quite sure if he and Manny Pena can't get together on signs, and maybe first couple innings he was stepping off a lot, even in the windup. A lot of times, if you can't get on the same page with the count, I'm not saying that's the case, but it may be.
2-2 the count. And now 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Of course, these guys have worked together quite a bit. I doubt that's the issue.
Contreras due next. And a swing and a foul by Almora. There have been no outs on the ground for Chase Anderson. 7 outs in the air. Has the 2 strikeouts. And then had the caught stealing. This is the 5th 3-ball count of the night for Chase. Thus the 65 pitches here with 1 out in the 4th inning.
He's stepping off again.
Wants a changeup. 3-2, and he got him. Good one. Sinking action on that changeup, similar to the pitch he struck out Rizzo on.
The key to that pitch is throwing it over the plate. I mean, you throw that off the plate or inside, you're not going to get a swing. This one right down the middle of the plate, out of the zone, and you get a swing. Guys aren't swinging at that if it's outside.
So 2 men are out. 3rd strikeout for Chase Anderson. And here is Wilson Contreras. He walked in the 2nd. Been a down year offensively for Contreras. He did make the All-Star team this season, but recently he's been splitting time, at least splitting more time than normal, with the number 2 catcher of the Cubs, Victor Caratini.
Yeah, big day for Caratini last night. A couple of RBIs, caught a good game.
He's a good catcher, Caratini. Frames it well. Contreras has struggled defensively. He's got a great throwing arm. Last year, Contreras hit .276 with 21 homers, 74 RBIs. That was his second season in the big leagues, really the first full season. And then made an all-star team this year. It has not been the same hitter as we saw last year. OPS is down about 100 points compared to last season.
And you can grind through that as long as you're catching well. He's had a problem keeping balls in the dirt in front of him. Balls getting by him, past balls. We saw that at Miller Park. So if the offense is down a little bit and you're not catching well, that's why your backup catcher gets more playing time, particularly if he's hitting.
He's had some big moments in the postseason, including a home run last year in the NLCS against the Dodgers. There's a swing and a miss. Anderson strikes him out with a changeup. So back-to-back Ks, both on the changeup. And we are headed to the 5th inning. We'll see Granderson bat in the 5th.
Cubs, and every year Brewers Community Foundation focuses its funding in the areas of health, education, recreation, and basic needs. The Milwaukee Brewers Baseball Club's charitable arm proudly supports nearly 200 organizations annually. So give credit there to Katina Shawn and Cecilia Gore for their great work with BCF all season long.
Okay, Sophia, thanks. We certainly echo that sentiment. Tyler Saladino is going to pinch hit here in the 5th inning. That means Chase Anderson is out of the game after 4 scoreless innings against the Cubs.
Yeah, well, he used a lot of pitches to get through 4 innings. Had his best inning. 3 up, 3 down, a couple of strikeouts, but the Cubs do have the top of their order coming up. Well, if your Craig counts, you're thinking maybe 5 out of Chase. I mean, that's best case scenario. It's kind of the way it's gone lately. I guess his thinking is you know, if I'm going to use him 1 more inning, how about if we get a rally going here in the top of the 5th?
He's a position player to start the inning. Brewers lead 2-0. This would not be a move you would see in any other month in the season than September, as Saladino strikes out. Strikeout number 5 for Hendricks. And to the top of the order, here comes Curtis Granderson. He's in our BP Brighter picture here tonight. Curtis Granderson against the Chicago Cubs this year. 4 for 7. Had a 2-run home run at Miller Park. This is his 5th game played against the Cubs. And he takes a strike. 2 for 2 today. A triple in the first, single in the third. He has scored twice. One thing we don't know about, and Sophia's down there and will certainly pursue, but we don't know if there is an injury situation with Chase Anderson. Didn't appear to be anything that we could see, but you never know. Leave that door open as well, because it is an unusual move to make this early in the game.
Yeah, he was stepping off quite a bit throughout the night. Looking in, stepping off. Just seemed like it was a little bit out of sorts. It doesn't look like there's anything going on, though. He's still sitting there.
Granderson pulls one down the line, foul. See a lot of the players here tonight, some of the coaches wearing the gold wristbands. Gold in September night tonight, as Granderson is hit by a pitch. Almost hit him on that yellow wristband, and the third time on base for Curtis Granderson.
That turns into it. You're not going to get hurt too badly. He says, well, do I get the fingers?
He's still
on a hit batter.
Still trying to work out what the communication is after.
See the way he turns away, and that kind of makes it a glancing blow, and you get those wrists, the hands out of the way.
He's still learning all of the nuances of a new ball club. All right, here's Yelich now, man at first.
Yeah, should I do it with a hit batter or walk, or is it just a base hit?
Remember, after his first home run as a Brewer, which came against the Cubs, he went down the gauntlet at Miller Park. Wasn't quite sure how that worked either. Arcia had to kind of show him the way. He's been a great ad. Players raving about Granderson's leadership abilities and the things that he is saying in the clubhouse, in the dugout, during the games, and he's been contributing on the field as well.
Yeah, big time.
The inventor of the gauntlet.
A lot of veteran influence. You saw Gio Gonzalez there talking with Arcia.
No balls, 2 strikes on Yelich. Outside, ball 1. Hendricks' spot is due to lead off in the 5th inning. That might be another reason Craig Counsell makes the play here. He figures that Chase Anderson would not have faced Hendricks to start the inning, as that ball's wrapped into center field, and Almora with a sliding catch. There's another defensive gem by an outfielder in this game. This time Christian Yelich robbed of a base hit.
Yeah, those are the toughest ones to judge. Those ones right at you. It took them a while to get going. They're playing deep in the outfield, right at him, sinking as it gets out there, and Almora able to get it before it hits the grass. Nice play by the Cubs center fielder.
It's interesting how he moved his body at the last moment so he could have the extension on the catch. That's coming right at you. Center fielders talk about whether to go with the basket style catch or over the top. He actually jumped to the right to be able to catch that ball off to the side. Good play. Here's Kane. Ground ball to Murphy. He'll flip to the bag, and that's the inning. So the Brewers come up empty. Craig Counsell has yanked his starter after 4. Into the bullpen they go. The fifth inning, it is 2-0. RBIs from Kane and Shaw in this game. And into the bullpen early goes Craig Counsell. 4 scoreless innings for Chase Anderson. And now it's going to be Jacob Barnes first out of the pen. And if he can bridge the gap here for an inning or an inning plus, he will have a prominent place in the mind of the manager in the post-game talk.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, it's been a week for Jacob. I mean, last appeared in the game on Wednesday against the Cubs. Through an inning and 2/3 scoreless, allowed only 1 hit. Also struck out a batter. Got the number 9 spot in the batting order. A pinch hitter, Tommy La Stella. Addison Russell in the top of the order.
Got that playoff feel to this game, doesn't it? Managers are maneuvering like a postseason game. Madden's best pinch hitter is going to lead off this 5th inning, and Barnes delivers a 95-mile-an-hour heater on the black, right at the bottom of the strike zone as well. You lay a few out there, you'll be fine.
Yeah, well, he should feel pretty good. It's been a week for him last Wednesday. Chopper ranging over Perez, got a hurry throw to first is a bad one into the dugout. I think that's a relatively easy play for Travis Shaw. I think Travis Shaw, that ball was right at him. Perez going really hard from shortstop. He had no angle to make a throw. I mean, he was going too fast toward the corner. Check out Shaw. He's waiting for it right there. I think Shaw gets him at first base. It's going to be an error on Perez.
Well, what should have been a routine out.
Right.
And with the shift on, it does create some havoc defensively on what is normally a routine ground ball, but it's a hit and an error. And now the Cubs with a runner into scoring position. They've got the top of their order coming up after this. Addison Russell now, the 9th place hitter, who had a hit taken away from him in the 2nd on a terrific catch by Granderson. Brewers have to tighten up defensively.
Yeah, I mean, it cost them big yesterday. Two errors in the 2nd inning. Cost them 2 runs.
Willie Chassin had one of those errors, a throwing error. Scope had the other. And again, it was just a routine ground ball in an awkward spot with the shift that led to the error. Barnes, a strikeout pitcher, could use one here. Has electric stuff. When he's throwing strikes, he looks like a closer. Big fastball, sharp slider. The 0-2. There's a little cutter. It's a ground ball to Shaw. And Russell is out, but it does advance a runner.
Yeah, Russell does his job with 2 strikes. Able to put the bat on the baseball, hit it to the right side, and advance La Stella to 3rd base. Top of the order coming up.
That'll be Daniel Murphy now.
But again, a good pitch by Jacob Barnes. Right off the end of the bat on the cutter. Going to the bullpen.
Yeah, with a left-hander coming up, he's got Dan Jennings ready in the pen. So this has a late game feel. Actually, he's calling on Knebel, not Jennings. So it's one right-hander for another. And Craig Counsell trying to close the 5th here against the Chicago Cubs. managed like it is the 8th or the 9th. There's a lot going on. Joe Madden using his best pinch hitter. Craig Counsell already using his second reliever of the inning. Corey Knebel is on the pitch now.
Yeah, Corey, 47 appearances. He's been throwing the baseball much better since his return. 450 earned run average for Corey. Last appeared on Sunday against the Giants.
Daniel Murphy at the plate for Chicago, and a swing and a foul. Corey Knebel has faced 15 batters since coming back from AAA. He's retired them all. 15 for 15.
Yeah, picked up a save on Sunday against the Giants, number 15 of the year.
If he's pitching well, could certainly be used for an inning plus. In a perfect world, Counsell would like him to get through the 6th.
Nice block.
At the top of the order coming up for Chicago here with Murphy, Bryant, and then potentially Rizzo.
But using your bullpen in this fashion, you got to figure Josh Hader available tonight.
That was a question mark before the game. That's a pretty good indication that he's hot tonight. Murphy, a foul back out of play on a 98-mile-an-hour fastball. 1-2 the count. Knebel, the all-star closer a year ago, had the closer's job to start the year, lost that role, and then had a little bit of a reset, more rest than reset. A couple of mechanical checks for Corey Knebel, and he's come back strong. Runner at third, La Stella, one away. Here's a 1-2 and a pop-up infield. Moustakas is there, and out number 2 is a big one for Knebel. La Stella has to hold his ground at third base.
Yeah, big fastball up in the zone. Brewers have been able to handle Daniel Murphy pretty well so far in this series. Up and in, 98 miles an hour, and got him on a pop-up. Now one more to get.
Here is Chris Bryant. 2-0 Brewers. We play in the 5th. Chase Anderson with 4 scoreless. Anderson giving up 2 hits to the Cubs, no runs. The line looks good, but Chase was not on his A game tonight. He just was able to pitch through a few jams, some line drive outs. The 0-1 and a drive left center field. This one is off the wall into score La Stella. Bryant into second with an RBI double. 2-1 now.
Yeah. 97 down in the strike zone. Turned it around. Unfortunately for the Brewers, it stayed in the ballpark.
Looked like that ball came down just in front of the basket. Might have even hit it on the way down.
Yeah, down in the zone at 97, and Bryant squares it up. And it did hit the bottom of the basket.
Very fortunate. Another 6 inches or so. That's a 2-run home run to tie the game. For now, Bryant at second base. Here's Anthony Rizzo. 2-1 Brewers. 2 outs in the 5th. And Rizzo looks at a curveball in there for a strike.
Yeah, the big fastball so much more effective up in the strike zone. Down, hitters have a chance to get the barrel on it.
Slight breeze blowing out to left field tonight. And Rizzo, a chopper over the mound. Got plenty of time here, and Rizzo is put out 6-3 to end the inning. Brewers bend a little. They go through the bullpen twice, but they still lead it 2-1 after 5.
September 17th, the Brewers will celebrate Latin American culture during Hispanic Heritage Night at Miller Park. The crew will don their special Service Cerros jerseys as they host the Reds, and you can secure your tickets for the game for just $6. That's courtesy of Miller High Life.
Got a tight one here at Wrigley Field, just as they all seem to be between the Brewers and the Cubs this season. Randy Rosario is on the mound for Chicago, left-hander to face Travis Shaw, then Mike Moustakas. Got a couple of left-handers to start this inning for the Brewers, and then Hernan Perez, and I'm sure Joe Maddon's got his deep bullpen lined up to play matchup the rest of the way as well. 2-1, Brewers lead it. And Shaw on the first pitch, a high fly ball right center. That'll hang up for Zobrist. And out number 1 on the first pitch of the inning for Rosario.
Yeah, Rosario got roughed up last time out. It was game 1 of the doubleheader on September 8th. A third of an inning, he gave up 4 runs. And the Brewers are hoping for a repeat of that. Cubs have 5 left-handers down in the bullpen to start the night.
Here is Mike Moustakas. Check the Powerball home run leaderboard. Mike Moustakas on there with 25 on the year. 5 of those coming as a Brewer. Aguilar, the club leader, has the day off. Could see him later today. He and Ryan Braun are off. Brewers scored in the first. They got another run in the third. Kane had the RBI in the first inning, scoring Granderson. Shaw drove in Granderson in the third with a sac fly. Cubs have hit some balls hard. They've had a lot more line drives than the Brewers tonight, but they've just scratched their first run on a bullet by Bryant. His second hit of the game. Hit it off the basket in left center. 2 balls have hit the basket and not home runs tonight. That's hard to do. The angle of that basket, it's almost impossible to hit the basket and not be a home run.
It's got to be a line drive, doesn't it? And that's what he hit.
Three balls and a strike on Moustakas. 3-2 now. I was talking to Len Casper, the Cubs television announcer. He says in his 14 years he thinks he's seen maybe 4 hit the basket and not go out. 2 of them tonight. Sometimes they'll hit the pipes that come up for it.
But he says he's never seen a baseball hit that guardrail twice. Bing, bing, back in.
So one of those nights. Is there a full moon? Moustakas into left center. Almora on the run, lays out and makes the catch. That's 2 tonight for Almora. Boy, these outfielders are putting on a clinic tonight defensively. Both teams.
He can go get him, can he? Got a good jump. Perfectly timed his leap and able to make that catch. He plays deep out there in center. Feeling good coming in on the baseball. That fired him up. That's a nice catch.
Full extension. And Moustakas has an extra base hit robbed. 2 up, 2 down. Here is Hernan Perez. Cubs have won 11 of the 18 games in this season series, but there have been so many close games back and forth just like this. That 4-game series the Cubs swept earlier this year at Wrigley Field, they were all decided by fewer than 3 runs. Brewers were shut out 3 times in that series.
Well, there's been a couple of games where the Brewers have been able to put up some runs. They had an 11-1 win, a 7-0 win here at Wrigley Field.
Perez, little slow roll at third base, coming in. Baez, bare hands, throw to first is a bad one. And Perez, who can run, is off to the races. He will not stop on his way to third. It's going to be a two-base error by the Cubs, their second two-base error of the night. And the Brewers got a man at third base with two away in the sixth.
It'd be a hit and an error. I would imagine that's a hit and an error. And Joe Madden looking out there thinking, why did you throw that baseball? No chance to get the runner. The only thing can happen is something bad. Not even close. Anthony Rizzo couldn't even grab it. Don't even bother throwing it. It wouldn't even have been close, and Perez able to get to third base.
Well, that could be a big one here. Let's see if the Brewers can cash in. Eric Thames at the plate. Runner at third, 2 outs. Brewers trying to get the run back they just allowed, and Thames swings and fouls one back. Both starters are out, Hendricks and Anderson. Hendricks goes 5 innings, 2 earned runs. Chase Anderson 4 innings, no earned runs. Oh, and 2 the count.
I think Cancer did have the option of pinch hitting here. Got a bunch of right-handers on the bench. Eric Thames hadn't had many at-bats against lefties.
Lets it ride with his left-handed slugger. No balls, 2 strikes on Thames. And a called strike 3. Ends the inning. Rosario puts up a 0 for the Cubs in the 6th. Great catch by Almora. 2-1 Brewers. At the Rose Bowl, part 2 was a double overtime thriller. Get ready for the trilogy. USC Texas, Saturday 7 p.m. on Fox and on the Fox Sports app. Two to 1 Brewers have the lead. We head to the Cubs half of the 6th inning. Zobrist, Baez, Almora coming up. Corey Knebel continues on for the Brewers. Knebel getting the final 2 outs of the 5th inning. Jacob Barnes, by the way, a third of an inning, gives up a run. It was earned. No walks, no strikeouts. As the official score recreated the inning, deemed that a run would have scored on Bryant's double off the fence in left field.
Yeah, they gave Listell an infield hit.
Infield hit and an error.
Yeah.
Zobrist starts it. He's 0 for 2 with 2 line drive outs. Up and in. Spins him out of there, and it's 2-1 on Zobrist. Zobrist third in the National League in batting average. Starting play today at .312. About 80 points higher than his batting average from a year ago. He takes ball 3. Joe Madden selling Ben Zobrist as a comeback player of the year in the National League. Makes a pretty strong case.
Yeah. Having a good year.
World Series MVP 2 years ago. He's been with Madden a long time. Ground ball. Thames is right there. Knebel covers in time for out number 1.
I think Matt Kemp's got that comeback player of the year pretty much shown up, don't you?
I think you're right. I think you're right about that.
Yeah, good luck with that, Joe.
He might win, or he won't win it now, but he had a chance to win the MVP for a good part of the season. Certainly the Dodgers MVP this year. Although Justin Turner's turning it up now for Los Angeles. Javier Baez with 1 away. He's walked and he's lined out. He walked in the second and then was caught stealing by Pena.
Yeah, 3 ground ball outs for Corey Knebel. I should say 2. Jacob Barnes had 1.
Knebel's given up a hit and an RBI to Bryant. Baez fouls it back. Start working through this game if you're Craig Counsell. Get Knebel through the 6th is the hope, and then you're kind of reset once again. Then you got Hader, Soria, Jeffress trying to cover these middle innings after an early pull of the starter Chase Anderson. Baez is late again. Here's an 0-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Good pitch off the plate.
That'd be right where he wanted, right?
Yeah,
against
exactly.
Baez.
And Baez is going to swing at that quite often.
That's why Baez is dangerous. He's a free swinger, but he does have the ability in the big spots to become a more selective hitter. That's 2 he's laid off now, which tells you that he's recognizing the pitch early.
Back-to-back curveball. So if you're Baez, you're probably sitting fastball here as you go back to the curve.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Knebel deals and a fastball. He's late and fouls it back. He took a big hack at it.
Right down the middle, left that one down. Pena wanted it up. Corey left the fastball down to Chris Bryant. He wrapped it off the wall.
Almora due next. Knebel retiring his first batter face, Zobrist. 2-2 to Javi Baez. 3-2 now. Cubs have given the Brewers some tough at bats tonight. Anderson walked 3. Brewers have out hit the Cubs 6-4. Baez has seen 17 pitches tonight in his 3 plate appearances. That's number 18, and a swing and a miss. Chased one. Wasn't a great curveball from Knebel, but it was effective enough. And Baez is gone. Strikeout number 1 for Knebel.
No, it's close enough to the strike zone and pulls the string on Baez. You can see him way out in front of it. That big swing, he pulls his head, and a big strikeout for Corey Knebel, and a good guy to keep off the bases. Kind of a gutsy pitch on a 3-2 count.
2 gone. Here is Almora. And there's a curveball, same spot, gets this call this time, a strike. That's the beauty of the Knebel curveball. It doesn't have to be perfectly located, but enough of a change of pace pitch off his 98-mile-an-hour fastball. Put you in a tough spot as a hitter, huh? And then that's what happens.
That's where you want it right there. I mean, that's where that curveball combination is so effective with a high fastball, not so much with the low one. And the one below the belt, the hitter is able to get to.
0-2 the count. This would be big if Knebel can get through this 6th inning. And Almora strikes out. Knebel does get through the 6th inning in 2/3. Back-to-back Ks to finish it. And we are headed for the 7th in a 2-1 game. Little country hardball from the man from Texas, Corey Knebel. There's like a shutdown cornerback in the NFL. He can minimize the running game, and StatCast AI powered by AWS. How about that throw from Manny Pena to cut down Baez earlier tonight?
And right on the money, as quick as you can get it down to second base. And it's all about the footwork from Manny.
Jesse Chavez will come on to pitch for the Cubs as we go to the Brewers 7th. Pena starts it. Domingo Santana will hit next as a pinch hitter, and then Granderson back to the top of the order.
And Chavez has been terrific as a member of the Cubs. Overall, his numbers between the Texas Rangers and Chicago, very good at 285 earned run average. We saw him on Monday through a scoreless inning against the Brewers.
Addison Russell, and the first out of the 7th. Cubs get a scoreless inning out of Randy Rosario. Gives up a hit, strikes out a batter. Cubs have committed 2 errors in this game, 2 two-base errors, and neither have led to runs. Santana will pinch hit for Knebel. Boy, that is great work out of Knebel. He does give up the RBI double to Bryant, but able to bridge the gap between starter and late relievers.
Yeah, good curveball again. I mean, effective with a high fastball. He did make the one mistake. The fastball down to Bryant.
Inning in 2/3 for Knebel. 2 Ks. No walks. Santana in the left center, a base hit. And he's thinking extra base hit. He's on his way. Throw comes in. Santana is safe at second. Hustle double.
Well, he's been terrific on the bench. And here goes Santana attacking early in the count when he's used as a pinch hitter. Able to rip that one into the gap. He was thinking of double as soon as he hit it. Getting out of that box in a hurry, and by the time Almora gets it in, Santana just able to beat it at second base. Now 7 for 20 as a pinch hitter. Outstanding work for Domingo.
Pinch hits in his last 3 appearances in that role. And here is Granderson now. He's had a terrific night. Been on all 3 times. 2 hits, including a triple. Was an inch from being a home run. You see his night at the plate, presented by Blaze Pizza. 2 hits and hit by a pitch. Chance to drive in a run. Granderson takes a strike. Bullpens are both cooking right now for both managers. Getting into this 7th inning in a 1-run game. A win tonight for the Brewers. They would get within a game of the Cubs as Milwaukee heads home to start a series at a homestand Friday. 6-game homestand starting Friday. Cubs go on the road tonight. They'll play a game tomorrow in DC. And then back here at Wrigley Friday, starting a series against the Reds. 2 balls and a strike on Granderson. Little tapper. Chavez over and gets the out at first. On the play, Santana moves to third, but there are 2 outs now. First time Granderson has been retired tonight. That'll bring up Christian Yelich.
Chavez with a fastball slider. Man, pretty good pitch to Granderson. Got him out in front. Beat it into the ground. Well, choose your poison here. Do you go after Yelich? Or do you pitch Lorenzo Cain? Good luck.
This would be a big RBI to pick up if you're the Brewers, as Yelich takes a ball high. Brewers scoring runs in the 1st and the 3rd. Had a 2-0 lead. Cubs got their run in the 5th on a Bryant double. Yelich takes a ball. It's 2-0. Yelich started play today 2nd in the league in hitting behind Jeanette. Couldn't find his name. Well, that's a bad call behind the plate.
Come on, Corey. Let's go. We're in a pennant race here.
Chavez got a break there. It's 2-1.
Bear down. Let's go.
Santana at third base with 2 away. Went to that same spot. Didn't get the call this time. 3-1. Hitters count for Yelich. And way outside. Ball 4. Looked like Chavez was just trying to see if Yelich would get himself out. Wasn't really interested in the at-bat. The old unintentional intentional. And it's going to leave him to face Lorenzo Cain, and that's going to bring a visit from Jim Hickey, the Cubs pitching coach. Brewers couldn't have a better guy at the plate right now. Cain's been hot. Lorenzo has 7 hits in this series. Is 7 for 12 against the Cubs in this series. 2 out of 3 tonight. Drove in a run.
And a guy that does a real good job putting it in play, give himself a chance. We're talking about Contreras and the fact that he has let some balls get by him against the Brewers this year. If you're Domingo Santana, you get that big secondary lead off at third. If one gets away, you take off.
Let's look at our Indeed player resume with Kane and his ranks in the National League currently. He's also among league leaders in the WAR stat, the wins above replacement. He's been a great find. He's been a great player. First and third with 2 away. Kane hitting third tonight in that run producer's role, trying to do just that. And a big swing and a miss. Inside fastball from Chavez. That Chavez slider, tough on right-handed hitters. That's Kane's Achilles heel. Ooh, he went with a fastball. Didn't get the call this time, and it's 1-1.
I guess we're even now.
Brewers got a break.
Yeah, that's a big one right there. Instead of 0-2, it's 1-1.
Chavez getting so much run on that fastball, huh?
He's got good movement both sides of the plate.
Here's a 1-1. 1-2 now. 3 consecutive fastballs. 1-2 the count. 40,000 plus at Wrigley tonight. Lorenzo Cain trying to quiet them down. Santana and Yelich on the corners. There goes Yelich. Cain takes a ball. And Yelich will glide into second base with a steal. Now a base hit. The Brewers could take a 3-run lead. Four straight fastballs from Chavez against Kane. And Lorenzo drives one right center field over his Zobrist and makes the catch. He hit it hard. Zobrist covering the gap, makes the play. Brewers come up empty. Stretch time at Wrigley. plays tonight. Badger Mutual Insurance plays of the game, one after another in the outfield. Curtis Granderson taking a hit away. Almora with two great plays in center field, a sliding and a diving catch, and then this shot by Kane that looked like it had the alley written all over it, but Zobrist closes ground, makes the play. The Brewers come up empty. Now a bunt by Contreras. Soria jumps on it, makes the play before we even had a chance to set him up. Joakim Soria in the game, one pitch, one out.
Man, Contreras doing the best he can, trying to get on base. He's been scuffling a bit. Soria 57 appearances now, a 346 earned run average. Joakim Soria, former closer in his big league career. Last saw Soria on Sunday against the Giants. At the bottom of the order, due up.
Victor Caratini will pinch hit for the Cubs. This is the 8th spot in the batting order, occupied by the pitcher. So Chavez is out. Chavez works a scoreless inning, not without drama though. Giving up a double and a walk. And then that running catch by Zobrist in the alley.
The ball just kept slicing further and further towards Zobrist as he closed the gap out there.
I think the line drive outs are starting to even out right now.
Yeah.
Caratini takes a ball.
Outfielders have been good. The basket has saved a couple of homers.
Yeah, that's right. Basket's been as good as the outfielders defensively tonight. Two balls, no strikes on Caratini. Broken bat. Thames is over. Soria covers. Good throw by Thames. 2 outs. Little spring training pitchers fielding practice put in play right here in September.
Yep, nice and easy. Get the ball to your pitcher as quickly as you can. You can catch the ball, find the bag. Takes work though. Takes practice.
So 2 men are out. Soria trying to make this a quiet 7th. Brewers could use one. The Brewers manager could certainly use a quiet inning. Knebel with a 3-up 3-down 6.
Brewers fans could use it.
This has been.
Every game seems to come down to this, doesn't it? I mean, lately.
Just a high wire act every game. Big swing by Russell.
Not just against the Cubs.
Barnes, Knebel, Soria been out of the pen. There's a shot to right. Tying run is on. Addison Russell with a base hit single. And we'll flip the lineup over to the top of the order. Soria's had a tough time closing innings out recently.
Yeah. Seems to be able to get that first, second hitter out, or maybe the first hitter, base runner out number 2, but you know, the bottom drops out. It has been lately for him. Not quite sure what the issue is.
3 of his last 4 outings has given up runs with 3 of his last 4 outings. He's given up runs. He's done so with 2 outs. And so here is Murphy, who is 0 for 3 tonight.
I hate facing this guy, as due as he is right now.
He's got some pop in his bat. Murphy's hit 10 home runs this year. He has missed a good part of the season due to injury, coming back from a knee injury. Murphy's hit 4 as a Cub. That's a grounder right to Thames. Yikes. Thames on his heels makes that play. Will go to the bag to end the inning. Wasn't pretty, but it gets the job done. 2-1 Brewers. 8th inning at Wrigley Field. What a game tonight. Brewers and Cubs. Last game of the regular season. These two might have a postseason destiny in front of them. Carl Edwards Jr. among the many changes Joe Maddon has made. Travis Shaw leads off. Takes a ball inside. So Edwards with his 52nd appearance of the year.
We saw him a couple of days ago against the Brewers. Only a third of an inning against Milwaukee in that appearance on Monday. Big fastball, curveball to go with it.
Edwards uncorked a wild pitch that allowed the Brewers to take the lead. So Caratini stays in to catch. That moves Contreras to left. Bryant goes from left to third. And then Baez from third to short. Addison Russell is the one out of the game. Edwards has had command problems. Brewers would love to add on right here. They've had some chances to score, but still sitting on 2, and Shaw taking all the way takes strike 1. Travis with a sacrifice fly that came back in the 3rd inning. 2nd run plated by the Brewers. Shaw down the line, pulls it foul. Nice catch. Didn't spill his beer. Good marks all the way around.
Yeah, just a perfect scenario.
Three and 2 now. Edwards falling behind 3-0. He's come back. And the payoff pitch. Shaw takes a ball. Ball 4. Lead man on for the Brewers in the 8th.
Yeah, he's been scuffing a little bit, hadn't he? I mean, against the Brewers. He had a tough time of it back at Miller Park. Wild pitch a couple of nights ago. Hey, tonight's Tavern the game winner. And Roustabout Tavern and Motel, if they call the Brewers, by 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. They get 40 tickets to an April or May Brewers home game next year. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite. Roustabout Tavern and Motel in Algoma.
Another mound visit by Jim Hickey, the pitching coach. We have Mike Moustakas coming up. Teams normally put a big shift on for Moustakas. I guess if you're thinking at all about a sacrifice bunt scenario, you might adjust that shift a little bit. I don't think that's the case, but potentially part of the discussion from the pitching coach. And the Cubs do go right back into their shifted infield. 3 infielders on the right side. Runner at first to start the inning. Moustakas at the plate. And he pops it foul out of play. There's a curveball by Edwards. Moustakas is 0 for 3. 2 outs on the ground. He hit one of them sharply in the first inning up the middle. He rolls over that one. No balls, 2 strikes on Moustakas. It's been a 2-1 game since the 5th inning when Bryant drove in a run with a double after the Brewers jumped out 2-0. Oh, and 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Edwards had his troubles in the postseason last year. Felt like the Cubs got down to their one reliever, their closer last year. That was it. Yeah. That was the only guy that Joe Maddon could trust. They still made it to the LCS. They took down the Nationals in 5 games. But they exhausted their bullpen. Never really got it put back together for the NLCS against the Dodgers. Moustakas pops it up. And it is going to be Baez. Oh, and the ball drops. And they're going to take the out at second, replacing Moustakas and Shaw.
I guess he's thinking maybe if Moustakas isn't running, I just don't get sometimes. Catch the pop-up.
So instead of what would on the scorebook look like a fly ball out or a pop-up out, it actually, you'll have to use your memory on that one because it goes as a 6-4 put out.
And what's the point of that? I don't get it.
So Moustakas instead of Shaw at first base. Here's Perez. Hernan with that opposite field swing, trying to drive the ball to right center. He's good that way. Brewers could use an extra base hit here. Cubs outfielders are very deep. It'd be tough to get one through a gap. Moustakas does not run well. It's pretty much a wash in speed with Moustakas and Shaw, right?
Yeah,
Going back to the Baez play.
I guess you have a guy like Keon Broxton or Kane or Yelich at first. Might not be a bad play. That didn't make any sense. He's trying to be cute out there, I guess.
No balls, 2 strikes.
A lot of times you'll see, not a pop-up that's hit that high, but kind of a lazy pop-up in the infield. You see the guy at home plate not running. Maybe you do that, but that wasn't the case with Moustakas.
It was a 1-2, and he got him. Buckled him. That Edwards curveball. And it's the second out of the inning. First strikeout for Edwards.
Yeah, one of the better curveballs that we've seen him throw. Straight over the top, goes straight down.
2 gone. Eric Thames at the plate. Craig Counsell allowed Thames to hit earlier in this game with a runner at third base. He allowed him to stay in to face a lefty, and he allows him to stay in for a late game matchup like this, knowing that it's Edwards or potentially Strop.
Looking for a fastball to hit out of the ballpark.
So you give a little back in the 6th inning to try to gain a matchup advantage here late. And now it's worked out. Counsell does have the matchup he wants. And Thames, right field. That's falling. That's going to get down. A base hit. On his way to third goes Moustakas. Eric Thames delivers with a single. First and third with 2 away.
Well, now that wild pitch might come into play with that curveball. Though Caratini has shown pretty good skills blocking pitches in the dirt. Good job by Thames, able to muscle one down the line. Had a little cut to it and able to fight it off down the line and right.
And Joe Madden is on his way out. I think he's thinking along with you, partner. That wild pitch is a real factor in a spot like this. Edwards uncorks a lot of them. And Joe Madden not taking any chances. Even though he's got the matchup in his favor. He's going with a ground ball specialist, Cishek. First and third, 2 outs and another pitching change. Now we are in a 2-1 game in the 8th inning at Wrigley. Steve Cishek is in to pitch. Craig Counsell counters with Jesus Aguilar.
His 71st appearance for Cishek, the side armor, very effective in getting ground balls. See if Aguilar can get one up in his zone, elevated, and find a gap somewhere.
He has been the Brewers' best run producer this year, sitting on 97 RBIs. He has struggled lately, however. Gets a day off from the starting lineup. Big spot. Aguilar takes a strike. If Aguilar could reach here in this 8th inning, Ryan Braun would hit next. So Counsell is rolling out the big guns here in the 8th. Hitting for Manny Pena is Aguilar. 1 ball, 1 strike outside. 2 balls and a strike.
Yeah, nothing but right-handers on the bench for Craig Counsell. All his lefties are in a starting lineup.
1 swing of the bat could get him to 100 RBIs. Two balls and a strike on Aguilar. Way out in front. Gave him a spinner. Behind in the count, and Cishek right into the count now. It's 2-2. Now they get loud. Two-two pitch, way outside and high, almost got back to the screen. Remember, it was Moustakas who scored on a wild pitch in the 6th inning on Monday night. Wild pitch thrown by Edwards that gave the Brewers the lead. 3-2 in that game, and that was the final. What's he going to get him here? 3-2. Thames takes off. Aguilar strikes out to end the inning. Gave him a breaking ball. Brewers let another opportunity go by. To the bottom of the 8th. Big boys coming up. All right, thanks a lot, Dario. The Chicago native Curtis Granderson. Josh Hader is on to pitch. First ball right by Chris Bryant. to start this 8th inning. Brewers have made a number of changes here. Hader the most notable.
A perfect inning on Monday. 6 up, 6 down, 6 punch outs. Good velocity on that first pitch to Bryant.
Swing and a miss. And it's 0-2. Got a new battery with Eric Kratz in the game behind the plate. Manny Pena was pinch hit for. Arcia enters at short, which moves Perez to second and Shaw to first. Brewers are about as good defensively in the infield as they can be. Outfield of Yelich, Kane, and Granderson. Hader threw 24 pitches on Monday. 22 of those were fastballs. He got 11 swings and misses. Struck out all 6 batters he faced. And he strikes out Bryant on 3 pitches at 98 miles an hour.
He's feeling good tonight.
That's one of his best fastballs of the year. And one away here in the 8th inning.
Yeah, ordinarily Craig Counsell likes to give him at least 2 days off between appearances when he goes multiple innings. But realizing the importance of this game, Josh Hader saying, I'm good to go. So far so good. First hitter.
He has struck out his last 7 batters. Counsell maneuvering that bullpen to try to get the ball to Hader and Jeffress at the end. He's gotten them there. Anthony Rizzo takes a strike. Rizzo popped a 2-run home run off Hader back at Miller Park last week. That was a game the Brewers would recover. That was an 8th inning go-ahead home run by Rizzo. Brewers would win the game in the 9th on the walk-off fielder's choice by Yelich. 0-1 outside. Hader is bringing it tonight. This is as hard as he's thrown all year. He's already hit 98. He's hit a couple at 97 already. One and one. He's late.
Well, back at Miller Park, we saw Anthony Rizzo turn one around that was about 96 inside and hit a 2-run homer. And again, if you throw a slider here, you better get it down and away. Don't hang it. You do him a favor, you lead one down the middle.
It's been all fastballs thus far for Hader. 6 in a row. See what he does. 1-2 to Rizzo. And Hader puts a fastball right by him at 98 again. Back-to-back Ks of Bryant and Rizzo.
Man, amazing. I mean, this is as hard as he's thrown all year. Bingo, right on the outside corner. Good luck getting a piece of that. It's not just the velocity, you know, it's the location. He's able to put these pitches on the corners.
2 quick outs on 7 pitches for Hader, all fastballs. Here is Ben Zobrist. Swing and a miss. The first breaking ball he's thrown.
Yeah, you have to really get that bat going early. You know, to catch up with that fastball, then he drops that on you.
Brewers lead 2-1. Hader with 2 outs in the 8th. Zobrist fouls it back into the screen. Another one at 98. And the Cubs in an 0-2 count with Zobrist in this 8th inning. Hader trying to strike out the side again. No balls, 2 strikes. Hader deals. And a shot into center, base hit. Zobrist just shortened up and poked it to center field. Man, he's a good hitter.
Yep, and Hader put it right where he wanted it. He got it up in the zone. Well, we had to do over again. Maybe get a little bit higher, but that's where he wanted it. And Zobrist just doing a good job getting on top of it. That's a hat tipper there.
Just playing pepper. Short little swing. And now it sets up the matchup. Power on power. You got the best reliever in the game against one of the best hitters in the game in Javier Baez. What else would you want tonight? Tying run at first. Hader fires. Baez a big swing. He fouls it back. Hader struck out Baez on an up and away fastball on Monday. Part of that 6 in a row, the 6 straight strikeouts.
And now throw a couple of sliders in the dirt. This guy, he's one guy that can get to that high fastball.
No balls and a strike. Here it comes. And that one right down the middle. Baez was guessing. And Hader puts it right on the inside corner.
I'm not sure what you're looking for. I mean, if he's guessing, he's thinking slider. Good luck.
No balls, 2 strikes. Can Hader strike out the side in the 8th? What a matchup here.
Yeah. Worth the price of admission.
Yeah, big league baseball at its best. Pennant race, September. Cubs Brewers rivalry. 1-2 pitch. A swing and a miss. He struck him out. Josh Hader gives him the gas. And Hader strikes out the side again. How about 3 innings, 9 punch-outs in this series for the Haderade. Bryant, Rizzo, and Baez all go down. We head to the 9th. Brewers lead 2-1. Back at play in the 9th, Orlando Arcia came in defensively on the first pitch, rolls out for out number 1 for Steve Cishek. What Josh Hader has done in the series has been most impressive. He has 9 strikeouts in the series, faced 10 batters, struck out 9 of them, threw 38 pitches, and had 31 strikes.
Amazing.
17 swings and misses for Josh Hader in his 38 pitches thrown in this series.
Not a whole lot you can say. I mean, man, what he's been able to do, not just in this series, but the entire season, speaks for itself. Incredible stuff.
Curtis Granderson with 1 away, back to the top of the Brewers order. Boy, another run would be huge in a spot like this. Brewers have been knocking at the door all night. They've had runners on, chances to score as Granderson lifts it in the air, deep center field. Almora's back, feeling for it. Almora looks up, it's gone. Granderson with a home run. Some finishing kick to that big fly ball. Curtis Granderson with his third hit of the night. This time it clears the basket, and it's 3-1 Milwaukee.
A little breathing room for the Brewers. How about Curtis Granderson? Well, the basket didn't rob him that time. Got that one basically in the first row out there in left center. See, Cishek left that one up a little bit. Granderson puts a good swing on it. Now Moore just runs out of room. First row. That is a huge run right there.
Curtis Granderson has scored all 3 runs. Triple, single, now a homer. Second home run as a Brewer for Granderson.
Well, he hasn't been a bad pickup, has he?
Yeah. Impact immediately.
Man, wow.
Joe Madden on his way out. His ground ball pitcher. The guy Joe Madden trusts the most not to give up the long ball has given one up. Curtis Granderson's first home run at Wrigley Field in 12 years makes it 3-1.
MLB.TV for just $25.99. You can watch every out-of-market regular season game, plus get a free subscription to MLB At Bat Premium. Blackouts and other restrictions apply. Go to MLB.TV to take advantage of this limited time offer.
Curtis Granderson, the Chicago native, with a home run at Wrigley. His first since he hit one in 2006 against Mark Pryor as a member of the Detroit Tigers. And a big one it was. Gives the Brewers a 3-1 lead. Brandon Kinsler is on to pitch. Christian Yelich is hit by a pitch. Yelich turns and stares down Kinsler. And the Brewers have a base runner with one away following the Granderson homer.
Well, that'd have been close, huh? Well, he drills Yelich. First pitch out of the bullpen. Check this out. Trying to come inside. Watch where it ends up. I mean, no chance for Christian. Got away with that. That home run by Granderson, by the way, the first home run in this series for the Brewers.
Yeah, first home run since Jonathan Schoop hit the grand slam on Sunday against Madison Bumgarner. Lorenzo Cain takes strike one. Granderson with 3 hits tonight, on base 4 times, scored all 3 runs. He's got 5 hits now in 8 games as a Brewer and 2 homers. Always a good place to stand after a home run, right next to your hitting coach. Darnell Coles. Runner goes. Yelich. Throw to second is not in time. The pitch was called a strike, but Yelich swipes second base, and the Brewers have some insurance in scoring position now.
They had 2 stolen bases for Yelich in this game. And Caratini trying to get a throw off from his knees. Good jump. Easily making it into second base on the one hopper.
That is 19 steals for Yelich on his way to a 2020 season. Could be a 30-20 season with 2 more homers and 1 more steal. No balls, 2 strikes on Kane. Lorenzo delivered an RBI single in the first inning. He's 2 for 4 tonight. Kane has 7 hits in this series. The 0-2. Chopper. Foul. Kane was looking back at the plate area. Sometimes hitters do that if they think it was a catcher's interference or something like that, but not sure if that was the case. It was a little strange.
Saw that last night with LaStella. Time of LaStella swung the pitch and looked back as if it hit the bat hit Kratz's glove. A late swing, doesn't look like there was any contact.
Just able to stay alive. Sometimes those ugly swings that keep you alive turn in to pretty swing base hits.
Foul off the tough pitches, wait for a mistake.
Brewers have a run in on a Granderson home run. No balls and 2 strikes.
Not going to take much to score Yelich. Figure anything that hits the outfield grass, he's going to score.
Cubs outfielders are very deep. Kane started the scoring tonight. Had a base hit to plate Granderson in the first. Two. Travis Shaw due next. Let's see what Kinsler has in mind for Kane. Yelich with a good lead at second base, ready to run. And Kane lines one right field. It's down, base hit. Zobrist charges. They're going to hold Yelich. Yelich had to freeze for a moment just to make sure it wasn't going to be caught. Lorenzo Kane with his 3rd hit. First and third with 1 away. And the Brewers knocking at the door for some more runs in this 9th inning.
Yeah, good base running by Yelich. The last thing you want is that line drive to be caught and get doubled off. How about that approach for Lorenzo? A 2-strike approach. I mean, that's just beautiful. And Lorenzo Kane able to single in the right. Unfortunately, Yelich not able to score.
That's good base running by Yelich, though.
Yeah.
He can't get doubled up there, right?
No.
Got to make sure it goes through. Kane hit it right on the line. First and third for Shaw. Drove in a run with a sac fly in the 3rd inning. Looking to do the same thing here at the least. There goes Kane. And he picked the right pitch to run on. No throw made. A breaking ball. Lorenzo Kane with a stolen base.
Yeah, that's a big stolen base because Kinsler's a ground ball pitcher. Ground ball, double play, get out of the inning, no run in. And now that's not possible.
27th of the year for Kane. He's 4th in the league. Wasting no time either. Base hit could score 2 here for Shaw. In the dirt. 2-0.
I'm kind of surprised you're not walking Shaw here to set up a double play. And Moustakas on deck.
Travis trying to deliver a knockout punch here in this 9th inning. Brewers lead by 2. Kinsler deals, and Shaw takes a ball inside. 3-0 now to Travis Shaw. Jeremy Jeffress ready in the pen. He'll have the 9th. Hader strikes out the side in the 8th. Works around a 2-out hit. Struck out Bryant, Rizzo, and Baez. And he lost him to load the bases. That's not the worst thing in the world for the Cubs here.
Right. I'm surprised that they even pitched to him, but I think that was one of those intentional walks.
And Joe Madden is on his way with Moustakas coming up. Back to the bullpen goes Madden. Brewers with the bases loaded, 1 out in the 9th with a run in on a Granderson homer. Are back on the air Friday night, 6:30 airtime on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Our Miller Lite What's on Tap. It'll be Archer against Gio Gonzalez. 2 pitchers in new places. Gonzalez, Davies, Miley set up for the Brewers in the Pirates series. Still business at hand here at Wrigley. 3-1 Brewers. Brian Dunsing is on to face Mike Moustakas. Greg Counsell does have Ryan Braun available, but he's going to stick with Moustakas. 7 for 15 with a home run against Dunsing in his career. Hoping the trend continues. Dunsing is the 35th player to appear in this game. And it's a ground ball. The shift was on. That's through a base hit. Yelich is in. Here comes Kane. It's a 2 RBI single for Moustakas.
Boy, a huge base hit for Moustakas. Well, his success against Dunsing continues, and it was the shift that got the Cubs that time. They had Baez up the middle. Moustakas didn't hit it hard, but put it in a pretty good spot. Couple of RBIs. Did a good job pulling the hands. You can see where Baez is. No chance he gets there. And Lorenzo Cain able to score from second base.
2-run single for Moustakas. Big hits up and down the lineup in this 9th inning. The Brewers have a 5-1 lead. Now Hernan Perez with 1 out and 2 on. And Perez, a lazy fly ball to left. Coming in hard is Contreras for out number 2. Well, think about who has delivered in this inning. The veteran Granderson, a late season pickup, a September pickup, and then you got Kane delivering a hit with 2 strikes. Moustakas a 2 RBI single. Brewers have put together some kind of roster here for this stretch run. So now Braun's going to pinch hit. Counsell went out to the home plate umpire, Corey Blazer, I think just to make sure the lineup card was correct. I don't think the scoreboard had it the way Counsell had it.
Yeah, they had Kratz behind Perez. It should have been pitcher spot, then Kratz.
So as long as the lineup cards jibe, they have corrected it on the scoreboard now. It had been Kratz in that spot in the batting order. All right, so Braun will bat. 5-1 Brewers. They have opened it up here in the 9th with 3 runs. And now Joe Maddon's on his way out to make a pitching change. This is exactly what the Brewers wanted to do here at Wrigley. Quiet them down, send many of them to the exits, and try to get out of here with a series win. They lead at 5-1 in the 9th inning. Ryan Rizzo and Baez in the 8th inning, and then Granderson hits the home run to start this 9th with 1 out. Brewers have added 2 more on a Moustakas single. It is 5-1 Milwaukee. 9th inning, new pitcher James Norwood, and Ryan Braun is on to hit.
We saw Norwood back in Milwaukee. Last time he pitched was back on September 8th against the Nationals. Big earned run average, 587 for Norwood.
Two outs in the 9th. Jeremy Jeffress still preparing for this bottom of the 9th. Not a save situation any longer, but that doesn't matter at this point.
It essentially is.
Try to put this one away.
Yeah.
Braun into right field. Zobrist easing in. He's got it, and the inning is over. But the Brewers score 3 big ones. 5-1. Brewers lead. Bottom of the ninth. Jeremy Jeffress, the closer, is on to try to finish this one off and capture a series win for Milwaukee. Comes down to their last half inning. Bottom of the ninth. 3 runs for the Brewers in the top of the ninth. Here's Jeremy Jeffress facing Albert Almora Jr. to start it.
Yeah, last 3 appearances for Jeffress were save opportunities, and was able to cash in on all 3 of them. Had yesterday off. Back at it here tonight.
Got to treat it like a 1-run game. Jeffress trying to put the lid on this one tonight. Brewers will enjoy an off day tomorrow. They'll restart their schedule on Friday against the Pirates. It's a 6-game homestand. Cubs travel to play the Nationals. They leave tonight. They'll play tomorrow afternoon and then right back to Wrigley Field Friday. They start a series with the Reds. Craig Counsell pulled his starter Chase Anderson after the 4th inning with a shutout.
He threw a lot of pitches, a lot of hard hit balls.
Barnes, Knebel, Soria, Jeffress, Hader, then Jeffress. There's a liner to third, out number 1.
And a lot of those tonight.
Yeah, for both teams. Not a whole lot more you can say about Josh Hader right now. I mean, he is pitching at a level that we have not seen in Milwaukee.
I mean, in really tough spots as well. Here at Wrigley Field, pennant race, just pouring into strikes
against the best hitters in the game, mostly fastballs and nothing but strikeouts. Every out he recorded in this series was a strikeout. 9 of them. He faced just 10 batters. He kind of had a hunch Hader was available tonight when Counsell pulled Anderson and used Knebel early. Used Knebel in the 5th inning. Knebel was terrific. Went an inning and 2/3. Helped bridge the gap. Didn't surrender the lead. Did give up the RBI double by Bryant, but shut it down after that, then had a 3-up, 3-down, 6th.
And they've been good so far, this Brewers bullpen throughout the series. Not over yet.
Wilson Contreras. And a wave and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The Brewers have not lost back-to-back games since August 18th. That was in St. Louis. That was the last series they lost. With 2 more outs and a win tonight, they will have won 7 consecutive series. The Cubs have not lost a series at Wrigley since late May. May 25th was the last time they lost a series here. One ball, 2 strikes. Jeffress deals and a called strike 3. Second out of the inning, a backwards K. Contreras will take a seat. 2 gone for Jeffress in the 9th.
That one right back to the fastball. Good movement on it. Right at the knees. And 96 miles an hour. That had the plate. And the key to this bullpen and the success that they've had, not just the stuff, but they've been throwing strikes. They're not messing around, getting behind. They're not walking guys. It's just something you cannot do coming out of the bullpen, walking batters.
Last call for the Cubs is a line drive out by Caratini. Arcia snags it. The Brewers win. They win the series. And the Brewers are a game back of the Cubs in the National League Central.
Yep, game on. Going to be fun.
Curtis Granderson with 3 hits, scored 3 runs, and a big home run in the 9th inning. Craig Counsell.
Say he managed a really good game tonight.
Took the words out of my mouth.
That was one of the best games that we've seen managed all season, not just by the Brewers, but he had it going on tonight.
What a game. What a series for the Brewers. They win 2 of 3. They head back home. Just a game back of the Chicago Cubs in the